Tag TV brings you daily news bulletin from India. Breaking news and views from India.
Good evening. Welcome to South Asia Newsline. I'm Uzma Jafri. Here are the top stories we are tracking for you on Friday, the 9th of August. Heavy rains wreak havoc in southern and western India. Pakistani opposition leader Maryam Nawaz sent to custody in graft case. And Sri Lankan presidential hopeful renounces US citizenship. And now for all the details. Torrential monsoon rains have caused flooding in several parts of southern and western India. Disaster management have assured rescue and relief operations are underway to extend all necessary assistance in the flood-affected areas.
Torrential monsoon rains in India's southern provinces of Kerala and Karnataka have caused a major landslide and flooding that has cut off some areas, forcing the evacuation of more than 22,000 people, authorities said on Friday. Flooding also forced authorities to halt all operations from the Cochin International Airport, the busiest airport in Kerala. In Karnataka's Hubli city, displaced locals at a relief camp expressed they have lost everything to the floods.
क्या इलेक्ट्रिकल सामान सब गया, खाने का चीज भी गया, हमारे को चावल गिवल क्या भी नहीं है खाने लिए, सब बहकर गए पानी में.
Meanwhile, heavy rains have also caused floodings and devastation in parts of western province of Maharashtra this week. Incessant rains have resulted in massive waterlogging in several parts of the province. More than 200,000 people have been evacuated to safer places from three districts of Kolhapur, Sangli and Satara.
Concentration is more towards the peninsular India, including Maharashtra. And the Maharashtra situation was followed by the Karnataka situation, and now the Kerala situation is developing. Overall, these three states are the area of concern, as I may say, and the maximum deployment is accordingly in these states.
Seasonal monsoon rains from June to September cause deaths and mass displacement across South Asia every year, but they also deliver more than 70% of India's rainfall and are crucial for farm output and economic growth.
Authorities on Friday relaxed curbs in India's Jammu and Kashmir to allow people to take part in Friday prayers amid a lockdown after the revoking of the region's special status this week. This came a day after Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi said that the government's move aims to benefit the people of Kashmir and it was time for a youth-driven young leadership to take charge.
People thronged mosques in India's Jammu and Kashmir after the authorities partially relaxed curbs to allow people to offer Friday prayers amid tight security. Mobile networks and internet services have been suspended and public gatherings banned since Sunday as India this week revoked Article 370 of the Constitution, which granted special status to Jammu and Kashmir. This came after Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi in an address to the nation on Thursday said that the government's move aims to benefit the people of Kashmir and it was time for a youth-driven young leadership to take charge. He spoke at length about issues of terrorism and corruption in the region and said that elections would be held soon for the local assembly and once the situation improves, Jammu and Kashmir would again be accorded statehood.
हम सभी चाहते हैं कि आने वाले समय में जम्मू कश्मीर विधानसभा के चुनाव हो, नई सरकार बने, नए तेजस्वी ऊर्जावान नौजवान एमएलए बने, मंत्री बने, मुख्यमंत्री बने. मैं जम्मू कश्मीर के लोगों को भरोसा देता हूं कि आपको बहुत ईमानदारी के साथ पूरे पारदर्शी वातावरण में आपके अपने प्रतिनिधि चुनने का अवसर तुरंत मिलेगा.
India has said that removal of the constitutional provision is its internal matter. The special status had hindered Kashmir's development and it wanted to fully integrate the region with the rest of the country.
Pakistan will not resort to military action with India over Kashmir, its foreign minister said on Thursday after India revoked special constitutional status for Jammu and Kashmir. While UN has urged India and Pakistan for maximum restraint in the region, the US has said that Kashmir is a bilateral issue between the two arch rivals.
Pakistan is not looking at a military option over Kashmir, Foreign Minister Shah Mahmood Qureshi said on Thursday after neighbouring India revoked special constitutional status for Jammu and Kashmir. The statement from Qureshi eased fears of an all-out clash between the South Asian neighbours. Tensions between India and Pakistan spiralled after the Indian Parliament on Tuesday passed a resolution to revoke Article 370 and a bill bifurcating Jammu and Kashmir into two union territories. Rattled by New Delhi's decision, Islamabad rejected the move and said it will exercise all possible options to counter the steps.
Pakistan is looking at political, diplomatic and legal options. We are not looking at a military option.
The United Nations on Thursday called on India and Pakistan to refrain from any steps that could affect the special status of Jammu and Kashmir. It reiterated its concern over the latest restrictions imposed in Jammu and Kashmir, which the organisation said could exacerbate the human rights situation in the region. Meanwhile, the US reiterated that there was no change in its policy over Kashmir and said it is working closely on resolving issues with both India and Pakistan. US State Department spokesperson Morgan Ortagus during a briefing on Thursday said the US has maintained the Kashmir issue should be resolved bilaterally between India and Pakistan without any third-party mediation.
More on news from Pakistan. Pakistan Muslim League Nawaz leader Maryam Nawaz was on Friday remanded in the country's Anti-Corruption Bureau's custody till August 21. She was arrested with her cousin on Thursday in the Chaudhry Sugar Mills corruption case.
Pakistan Muslim League Nawaz or PMLN Vice President Maryam Nawaz, who was arrested by the National Accountability Bureau or NAB on Thursday, has been remanded into NAB's custody till August 21st. Daughter of the former Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif, Maryam Nawaz had appeared before an accountability court on Friday in connection with the Chaudhry Sugar Mills corruption case. The government has accused the Sharif family of using the sugar mills for money laundering and availing millions of rupees in subsidy without actually exporting sugar while in power. Yusuf Abbas, a cousin of Maryam Nawaz, was also arrested by NAB on Thursday and has been remanded into the Anti-Corruption Bureau's custody for 12 days. PMLN leader Maryam was previously jailed in the Evanfield corruption case last year along with her father and husband. All three were released from jail within a few months before Nawaz Sharif was sent to jail again in relation with the Al Azizia steel mills corruption case.
In news from Afghanistan, Afghan President Ashraf Ghani kicked off his first poll campaign for the upcoming presidential poll on July 28. In his first campaign rally outside Kabul in the eastern province of Paktia on Thursday, Ghani stressed the need for a timely election and said the polls are the only way to ensure an enduring peace in the country.
Presidential candidate and incumbent Afghan President Ashraf Ghani on Thursday stressed the need for a timely election and said the polls are the only way to ensure an enduring peace in the country. In his first campaign rally outside Kabul in the eastern province of Paktia, Ghani said the Taliban has no experience in construction and that they are keeping foreigners happy by shedding the Afghan people's blood. In a bid to lure the voters, he said that he will not allow warlords to interfere in government affairs if he is re-elected in September polls. President Ghani kicked off his first poll campaign on July 28th. So far, 6 out of 18 presidential candidates have held public gatherings for their campaign. The presidential election is scheduled for September 28. The Taliban has warned that they will target campaign rallies to prevent the so-called election. The group has warned the people to avoid attending campaign rallies in order to prevent from being harmed.
Moving on to news from Bangladesh. Dengue fever is turning into a severe health crisis across Bangladesh. Dengue prevalence has reached an alarming situation with at least 29 deaths from January 1 to August 8 this year.
The dengue situation keeps getting worse every day in Bangladesh, with the authorities fearing further deterioration during Eid holidays. In a span of less than 8 months, the mosquito-borne dengue fever has claimed 29 lives and infected some 35,000 people across the country. Based on the latest record of the Directorate General of Health Services or DGHS, dengue prevalence has reached an alarming situation, with a total of 34,666 cases and 29 deaths from January 1 to August 8 this year. Dengue fever is a painful, debilitating mosquito-borne disease. Diagnosis of dengue fever is made by clinical presentation and a blood test. General recommendations include controlling fever and pain with paracetamol rather than aspirin and increasing fluid intake. Meanwhile, the Bangladesh health authorities have strengthened measures to check breeding of mosquitoes and conduct anti-larval operations. The government has allocated $608,936 to help the city corporations and municipalities fight mosquitoes, reports suggest.
In news from Sri Lanka, former Defence Secretary of Sri Lanka Gotabaya Rajapaksa has renounced US citizenship, paving the way for him to contest the presidential election. Sri Lanka does not allow dual citizenship and foreign nationals cannot contest elections.
Gotabaya Rajapaksa, younger brother of opposition leader and former President Mahinda Rajapaksa, has renounced US citizenship, paving the way for him to make a bid for his country's presidency. Gotabaya, who was the defense chief during the civil war that ended in 2009, had announced in late April that he would run in the presidential election due later this year. Sri Lanka does not allow dual citizenship and foreign nationals cannot contest elections. Gotabaya's brother Mahinda Rajapaksa served as president for a decade and now leads the opposition after a failed attempt to return to power last year as prime minister. The Rajapaksas are popular among Sri Lanka's politically powerful Sinhala Buddhist majority, which accounts for 70% of the country's 21 million population. Meanwhile, leader of United National Party, Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe and Deputy Leader Minister Sajith Premadasa have agreed to form the Democratic National Front for the upcoming presidential election. In a statement this week, Wickremesinghe had said further discussions will continue between political parties and organizations in order to establish a broad, strong and stable alliance.
College girls in Amritsar, city of India's northern Punjab province, celebrated the Monsoon Festival of Hartalika Teej on Friday with pomp and fervour. They dressed up in traditional attires and took part in various cultural activities.
The Monsoon Festival of Hartalika Teej was celebrated with pomp and fervour by girls at a college in Amritsar, city of India's northern Punjab province on Friday. Girls dressed up in traditional Punjabi attires were seen performing folk dance and singing folk songs while enjoying a swing setup inside their college campus. At the time of Teej every year, many schools and colleges in Punjab organize competitions and cultural programs. The theme of the competitions totally remains traditional and cultural.
हाँ जी सर, साडे कॉलेज तीयां दा त्यौहार मनाया जा रहा है जो कि सब नूं पता है कि साडे पंजाबी सभ्याचार दा हिस्सा है। इस दिन विआहियां वरियां कुड़ियां अपने पेके पिंड आउंदियां हन। इहो मन्निया जांदा है कि विआहियां कुड़ियां सौण दे महीने च अपनी सੱਸ ਦੇ ਮੂੰਹ ਨਹੀਂ ਲੱਗਦੀਆਂ ਤੇ ਉਹ ਪੇਕੇ ਘਰ ਆ ਕੇ ਆਪਣਾ ਸਾਰਾ ਮਹੀਨਾ ਬਤੀਤ ਕਰਦੀਆਂ ਹਨ।
ਇਸ ਤਿਉਹਾਰ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਸਾਡੇ ਡਰੈਸਸ ਦੇਖ ਹੀ ਰਹੇ ਹੋ, ਅਸੀਂ ਪੂਰੇ ਤਿਆਰ ਹੋ ਕੇ ਆਏ ਹਾਂ ਜਿਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਕਿ ਗਿੱਧਾ ਪਾਉਣ ਨੂੰ ਅਸੀਂ ਆਏ ਸੀ, ਜਿਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਪੁਰਾਣੀਆਂ ਕੁੜੀਆਂ ਤਿਆਰ ਹੁੰਦੀਆਂ ਸੀ ਔਰ ਜਦੋਂ ਆਪਣੇ ਸਹੁਰਿਆਂ ਤੋਂ ਪੇਕੇ ਘਰ ਆਉਂਦੀਆਂ ਸੀ ਇਦਾਂ ਹੀ ਤਿਆਰ ਹੋ ਕੇ ਪੂਰਾ ਔਰ ਪੀਂਘ ਝੂਟਦੀਆਂ ਸੀ ਪਿੱਪਲਾਂ ਦੇ ਥੱਲੇ ਜਾਂ ਅੰਬਾਂ ਦੀ ਛਾਵਾਂ ਥੱਲੇ। ਸਾਡੇ ਰਾਣੀ ਮੈਮ ਨੇ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਇਹ ਸਾਰਾ ਗਿੱਧਾ ਤਿਆਰ ਕਰਵਾਇਆ।
The festival of Teej is celebrated on the third day after the new moon of the Sawan or monsoon month every year in July or August. Traditionally, gifts are sent to the daughter's house by her mother and in-laws, husband and other family members give gifts to girls and women of the house.
Well, that's all we have for you from South Asia this evening. Now our viewers can watch the show on southasianewsline.com. You can also visit us on facebook.com/SAsiaNewsline and follow us on Twitter @SAsiaNewsline. That's all in tonight's edition. We will see you same time next week. Have a great weekend. Good night.
Tag TV brings you daily news bulletin from India. Breaking news and views from India.